building?
Yes, we in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Nicholas, Brooklyn.
Yeah, right. Live and direct. We are in BK, Brooklyn, Brooknome to be exact. Bed-Stuy, Do or Die, Fulton Street at the world-renowned Nicholas Bookstore. I'm going to chop it up with you, y'all, real quick because I'm moving around. Tomorrow, though, from the hours of 2 to 6 p.m., we will be here at Nicholas laying out a workshop entitled the first title was How to Make Money, but I'm expanding it to go deeper. How to build our own fantasy complex industry. And what the fantasy, how you doing? What the fantasy complex industry is this. It's simply this, right? It's the creatives creating, right? And what the fantasy complex industry is for us, when we would, my generation, Generation X, and the other generations, it would be comic books, right? Cartoons, video games, and toys. Those were the apparatuses that were introduced to us from the ages from 0 to 7 to help to program our mentality and to help, feed our imagination. It's $1 trillion industry. We don't control any of that industry. We don't have our own toy lines. We don't have our own video games. We don't have our own comic books. And we want to tap into that industry because we have the tools available now. We have things like followings. We didn't have that when we were teenagers and whatnot. So we could cut the middleman out. I want to program the minds of the starseeds. The ones that I'm meeting that are like 4 years old and they sharp. They grew up to Sabi. They didn't have to learn about him. They grew up, that was in the womb. They was getting Sabi information from the womb. So imagine what an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old can do with the AI tools that are available, a good imagination and support from their community. They could become the next Stan Lee. They could become the next video game developer. They could put out a toy line that we could all basically support. It could be a Nicholas, you know what I mean? Last year, I came here and did the conscious industry, right? And I'm gonna ask Monique, just from her perspective, have you seen an influx of people tapping more so into the conscious industry, or what we would call lifestyle?
Yeah, most definitely. You definitely see an increase in it for sure. Increase.
So we now have people who we could point to and be like, that person's life completely changed. They're living off of their imagination. Their creations are sustaining them, and they're branding themselves. We have brands that are growing now that we could be like, if supported properly, that could be $1 billion brand in the future. So, and
everybody's like incorporating AI into their businesses too. So you're definitely seeing a rise in that as well.
Right. So I'm basically gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm gonna give people the update about what the AI tools are doing. We got Runway, we got Kling, we got we got a lot. You know what I mean?
And someone says they need that shirt. So are you gonna have shirts available here as well tomorrow?
We'll have shirts in the building.
Okay.
We'll have merch in the building. We got Bobby. I got some new ones. We got Bobby, we got Sabi, and we got Dr. Africa. The new batch is Panic, Delbert Blair, and Phil Valentine. So I'm gonna debut some of that tomorrow. It's a workshop. It's not a lecture. What a workshop entails is participation. I want people to walk away saying, you know what, I got over my, not fear, but certain people have discrepancies about what they can do. They're online all day watching creators create, and they're feeling a type of way because they're not in the game. So I want to get y'all in the game.
Yeah, most people don't know how to take the first step. That's really what it is.
Right.
So
and it's almost like jumping off the thing to learn how to fly. I'm going to push you off, and we're going to fly together. Because once you do that initial step, right, you could wake up. This is on Sunday, we'll be doing it. On Monday, you could now wake up with a business plan or a plan on how you're going to implement your quote-unquote action, right? Take that notebook that you have with all of those characters that you created. Take your little sketchbook, you know what I mean? Go in your mind, mine your mind, and start really digging deep and come out with the real riches, because we keep looking outside of self, and the real wealth is inside of self. It's those vast imaginations that we have that we're not bringing our ideas to life. We're victims of other people. We're living in Stan Lee's world. I don't want to live in this world anymore. I don't want to live in Marvel's world. I don't want to live in Disney's world. We got to break out of that. Our children, we don't want to reprogram our children. We don't want to relearn. You know what I mean? You know how you have to relearn? We don't want to do that. We want to teach them from the gate so we don't have to do any of that. You know what I mean? So their minds will be sharp and whatnot. If anybody has a child that's a starseed, you know what I'm talking about. They're talking, like you could just have a conversation with them and they're talking about planets, galaxies, aliens, life forms. So we now could bring that to life with these tools. And that's simply what we'll be doing. I'm not trying to make this thing difficult because it's not. I want to empower. I want to invest, right? And I want people to know that they could be a part of $1 trillion empire, a marketplace, without no middleman. You don't have to ask permission. All you literally got to do is design something and upload it. Your environment, your network, and your community is going to be your support system. Forget about the middleman. They don't matter anymore. So, if anybody in the audience has some questions about anything, feel free to ask it. You know,
everybody's just hearting it up and everything. So we're looking forward to the event tomorrow here at Nicholas Brooklyn. 1396 Fulton Street.
Yes, the beautiful Nicholas.
Between New York and Brooklyn Avenue.
Right.
Get the tickets on Eventbrite. Children 17 and under are free. So make sure y'all come and show your support. It's not often that these brothers are in New York. You know, they're in ATL now doing big things. So
I said, you know what? I'm out here. I got business out here. So I said, I got to come and share what I've been researching and learning and implementing with my New York audience, with my New York crowd. I've been in New York for a few days, and the creativity in New York is unparalleled. You feel me?
Yep.
When those of us who left New York, I ain't gonna lie, we talk crazy about it. But you gotta come home and you have to see what this city is becoming, right? It's literally in the throw. It's like in limbo of what it's becoming. It hasn't become what it's becoming. It's still becoming that. But the youth, from my perspective, they're very in touch with their creativeness. I'm not seeing people look alike. Like there's not, people are having their own individual style, the way that they dress, the way that they carry themselves. So it's like, that's a great environment for what I'm gonna be introducing with this fantasy complex industry and whatnot. Because these people are free thinkers, they're thinking outside the box, they're not robotic in their thought patterns and whatnot. And that's the first step that you're gonna need in order to kind of like see the forest for the trees and whatnot. You got to break out of that programming of how they had us. With that, them days, as you can see, that paradigm, that dimension is done. You know what I mean? So it's about implementing these new rules for this new paradigm. And what the new paradigm rules are is anything that you can think and perceive, you could create.
Yeah, they said tomorrow is going to be epic. Yeah, so make sure y'all are here. Again, we are located at 1396 Fulton Street. You can take the A train to Nostrand. We're only 2 blocks away. We're going to have vendors. I don't know if we're going to have food, but we're going to figure them things out.
Right. It will only be me. Blue is in Atlanta. I'm going to be carrying this. We're going to come back and follow up and do it with Blue, because he came with the Black Myth thing last year with Black Dot. You know what I mean? He came and brought a comic book. You know what I'm saying? He did a whole lecture and made it a comic book. So we're making that comic book into a short film. We're going to make everything move and talk and everything. So we're just working. You know what I mean? When y'all don't see me, just know that mine is working. You know what I mean? And whatnot. Yeah.
Borntown Juices said, ask Red if he want a juice.
Mine is thirsty. Yes, mine is thirsty. Yeah. For juice, please. You know what I mean? You know. But yeah, it's so much to say, but I'm gonna reserve this energy
for
and
tomorrow.
This information for tomorrow, so I can spread it and share it and whatnot. I am enthusiastic, and I know that and I encourage y'all to bring your little ones. Bring your children. I am here for them. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that are not, the ones that are too cool, that don't like to talk to the parents. I got a 16-year-old, so I know how that is. Bring them as well. the 17 and 18-year-olds, bring them as well, because what they respond to is results. You know what I mean? They want to get to the bag. You know what I'm talking about? They want to get to some type of, they want to be players in the game. So we're going to show them how to be players. Even if you want to be a clothing designer, it's part of the fantasy complex industry in a sense. But what I'm really harping on is what we were programmed with. I know that y'all big on toys at Nicholas too.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people don't know we have the second store in Harlem. So that's at 1978 3rd Avenue.
Right.
So all the old vintage toys as well. You can find everything.
Right. I'm taking y'all back. I'm going into DeLorean. It's going to be a blast, a nostalgia blast, primarily because when you think about it, Generation X that I belong to, like, we didn't have 50 channels on cable. We watched the same cartoons. We read the same comic books. We were all being programmed collectively. And to be honest with you, it wasn't a bad thing. The lessons that we learned from Voltron, He-Man,
that was my show
G.I.
right
Joe,
there. That Voltron,
you feel me?
Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Oh my
they
God.
were teaching us lessons.
Yeah.
We were being introduced to Kemet, even though they try to demonize Kemet in a way, but we were still getting these teachings. I don't know when it went wrong with Teletubbies and all of these. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just saying, and even the early
and then the
Nintendo,
martial arts training, the Kung Fu cinema on Saturdays.
So we had the cartoons.
We had everything.
Kung Fu. Then we had Kung Fu on Saturdays. Like, we were transporting our imagination off the block. Remember, we would put on the Kung Fu slippers and come outside with the nunchucks after watching it and be busting ass in the hood. So we're saying that we want to go and create that type of programming for our children, our grandchildren, our little ones moving forward. The new TV is YouTube, you feel me? Instagram, Live, TikTok, and all of that. So you don't have to worry about NBC and CBS picking you up. You pick yourself up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that part.
Yeah.
All right.
So join us tomorrow. What time does it start again?
2 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. The link should be in my bio. Nicholas Bookstore.
Nicholas BK.
Mm-hmm. Nicholas BK is the Instagram as well.
Yeah, the link is there in the bio.
Right. You could go to Eventbrite and just put in Nicholas BK, and that'll pop up and whatnot. And you also could purchase at the door. It'll just be a little bit more. We definitely look forward to seeing you. And yeah, we're gonna handle our business.
All right.
I'm gonna create a trillionaire tomorrow. I bet you. I'm gonna spark the mind of one of the next greatest creators in our community. Let's put more value and more stock into those who are the creatives, because they're the ones that look. These are creatives. You have to be a creative to do all of this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my good brother, Supreme Understanding. You feel me? Like, we have to begin to put more value and more stock into what we've been learning, because we've been learning a lot of stuff. So why don't you turn that into a toy? Are you into the Orishas and that? Where's the toys at? You know what I'm talking about? Where's the comic? Where's the story? Where's the mythos? Oh, you talk about the Nibiru, the Planet X. You on your, you know what I mean? You on your Billy Carson. Where's your toys at? Where's your story? Why don't you create a whole series on that? You feel me? Where's the baby aliens? Shit like that. Like, it's one thing to learn about something, but it's another thing to apply what you've been learning and turn it into something. You know what I mean? That's where the magic is. So that's what we'll be exploring tomorrow.
Okay, and someone said whoever purchases a ticket to be there, will they get a recording as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we'll receive a recording after the event. It will be available.
Okay, again, tomorrow, the 22nd, Sunday, here at Nicholas, Brooklyn.
It's the first day of the season change as well.
Exactly.
So we're being in alignment with the season change. Seasons change, things change for a good reason and whatnot. So as the seasons change, the reasons also change. You know what I mean? Let's apply new things in new seasons. So even if this is not something that you was on, it don't matter. Creativity happens like this. You could be in your 80s and pop out and create something, or leave something behind. And we're going to talk about digital assets as well. that we need to start creating things that are going to live longer than us. Stan Lee is not here anymore, but he has franchises. He has all of these things that came from the imagination. Jack Kirby and all of that. The person who created the Nintendo. These things will live on further than you. The imagination is infinite.
Okay, so we have a message here. Hopefully the recording will be for sale for us who are in other states. And then someone said, Borntown Juices said, because of Red, I'm doing my thing with the AI. Salute. And then someone else said, man, you're a masterpiece. I'm loving these comments here. I appreciate all of y'all tuning in here today. So hopefully y'all will be tuning in on the live stream tomorrow.
Yes.
Or if you're in the tri-state area, I mean, you can take a bus here. You can take the train. So come through.
Uber.
Exactly. They ain't no excuse. So
Brooklyn.
And children are free.
Right.
So
if you've never been to Brooklyn, you got to experience. Brooklyn is an experience. It's not a destination. It's an experience. Like, walk around, absorb the energy. I've been in New York. This energy is not anywhere else. No disrespect to Atlanta. I was telling people on my live about being a pedestrian. Like, that's something that we don't even realize. Just walking and having people walk past you. You don't see that shit everywhere. You know?
Yeah, make sure y'all come through tomorrow. Like, it's going to be amazing in here. The energy's always going to be on high.
Yes.
Kafunya should be here. Hank Rising Sun. Yeah, he should be here. Uncle Hanky. So we're going to have a good time tomorrow.
Indeed. So with that being said, family, I'm going to tap out. We have some preparations to do for tomorrow. But thank y'all for your time and your attention. And we look forward to seeing you mañana at Nicholas or online. All right?
They say yes, sir.
Peace.
All right. Peace.
All right.
Here. Click your thing here.
Mm-hmm.